Hi, once again, everybody. This is Bernie with you with the Murals and Movement workshop. So now we're in lesson 10. So we're nearing the end of our workshop. So now that you've gone through the pre-writing and the drafting process with your artwork, you've crafted a really interesting story. You've added movement to it. So we're going to start putting all that together and then paring it down and revising and editing it. All right. So that's what we're going to focus on today is the revising and editing process. So when we think of revision, what comes to your mind? All right. So for me, it's all about playing with it, just kind of playing with my designs a little bit, looking at it upside down oftentimes works, just seeing it in a different way, asking yourself some tough questions about like, what is this really communicating? What's working, what's not really working. It's also a good idea to humble yourself a little bit in this process and get feedback from other people. So that's one of the things that I've been doing a lot lately with my own work is I'll post something on Facebook and just simply ask for feedback. Like what is working, what's not. Sometimes it's not always easy to hear the critical comments, but it's really helpful for my designs. All right. So good stories leave plenty to the imagination. Good stories don't necessarily tell you what to think or feel, but they leave a little bit of openness for you as the viewer to interpret your own conclusions, your own meanings to the story. So that's important for your own story as well as you crafting this and revising it and editing it. So it's important to think about our designs as being an organic thing, right? So they're constantly moving, changing, growing, expanding, and maybe even shrinking at times. So your design might be perfectly good as it is. It might be good, okay? But good enough is good enough our best? That's an important question to ask ourselves here. And it's a good idea to be a little bit vulnerable and just seek feedback and see if you can make a good design even better, all right? So if you have photo editing software like Photoshop, it can be really helpful here. You can cut a piece out and move it over here and just kind of mix it and play with it a little bit. If you don't have that kind of photo editing software, you can actually trace your designs onto tracing paper or onto regular copy paper. Onto regular copy paper, if you just hold it up to a window and just trace your design, and you can kind of cut things out with scissors and move them around and things like that. It's just a good idea to play with it and see if it can be a little bit better, all right? So the editing process is a little bit like the revising process in terms of just kind of analyzing it and seeing if you can make it better. But editing involves a little bit more nuts and bolts kind of things. What happens if I juice this color up a little bit, make it a little bit brighter? What happens if I dull this color down a little bit? A really key principle in design is that if something isn't essential in the design, if it's not serving a clear purpose, then get rid of it, right? Because the more you add to your design, the more it takes away from everything else. So just keep that in mind as you kind of go through this revising editing process. So maybe, yeah, just making a color a little bit different here. Maybe this line could be a little bit more intense here, a little bit more contrast here. Just kind of look at your design in a new way and see if you can make it better, all right? So then, finally then, if you were going to make your own dance mural, so for our purposes in the workshop, we're using Lisa G's drawing as the basis for our dance mural here, but if you were going to make your own, who would you want to be in it? Would you want to have other movers, other dancers along with you? Would you want to incorporate other artworks? Or would you just want it to be more of a solo piece, all right? So then today I'm going to take you through a kind of a quick revising editing process. I'm going to show you an example of one of my murals that I've been able to kind of revise recently, thanks to a lot of feedback. And then I'm going to turn it over to Allison, Simon, and Sarah, who are going to take you through an amazing movement-based revising and editing process to just kind of tweak the movement part of your piece a little bit more. All right, so let's start with some a little bit more details about revising and editing. So here's a good sort of working definition of revising, and again, feel free to stop the video as always to look at this more with a little bit longer. And then here's editing. Again, so I think the key difference between the two is that editing is more about how you express your ideas, and revising is more about the ideas themselves, just kind of tweaking the ideas themselves. And so here's your revising assignment. And as always, feel free to stop the video. Again, this is just some things to take your artwork through to make it better. And here's the editing assignment. This shouldn't take you too awful long, but it's a really important part of the process. So as I mentioned, I'm just going to show you some different revisions and edits that I made to a mural design that I'm doing for a town called New Kensington, close to us in Pittsburgh. So here's the second version of it. Again, we got lots and lots of feedback from people on social media. A lot of people said that aluminum roll in the front looks like toilet paper. So I had to make some revisions on that. And so there were just some really helpful feedback. Again, people that don't even call themselves artists have a lot to offer in terms of feedback for designs like this. Okay, so you can see the little adjustments that go a long way toward making this a lot better design. Okay, so next, Allison, Simon, and Sarah are going to take you through a really interesting movement-based process by which you can reinterpret and just kind of look at your artwork a little bit more deeply using movement. And then again, we're going to be using these movement sequences that you create for the final dance mural. Okay, so pay close attention to their process and then kind of mimic the same process in your own work. Okay, enjoy.
Hi everyone, welcome to workshop 10 of Murals and Movement. I'm Allison, the movement person for this collaborative workshop, and again I have with me Simon Phillips and Sarah Zielinski. Yay! All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we have been exploring the writing process, and for lesson 9, we talked about the pre-writing and the, what's the second one?
Drafting.
Pre-writing and drafting. So we have our draft of our story. That we are creating based on this piece of artwork that the beautiful Lisa G has graciously let us use for this process. Ta-da! Mm-hmm. And so now is the time for you to kind of review that draft that you created in lesson 9. And then today for lesson 10, we are going to be revising it. So we are going to be revising it, focusing on that part of the writing process, adding more details, possibly changing the order to only get closer to our final product, which isn't the most important part, but our final product of this movement and visual art amazingness. We're just going to go ahead and start with our draft, which I think, should we review that, Sarah and Simon?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll review our draft because that's always important. Reflection is key, and then we'll go about revising. All right. Okay, so let's see. We started off with the sunshine, lots and lots of sunshine, and then that goes into the butterfly near the sun, which then takes us into the blue stream running through the middle. And then we see a bird under a tree. Da, 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 da. And then we see blowing different leaves. So different leaves. And 2, and 3. And finally we see lots of flowers. Lots and lots. Excellent. So that is the draft of our story so far based on the wonderful Lisa G's artwork. All right, so let's see, Simon and Sarah, what we can kind of add in regards to details or change in regards to the order of this draft. Who wants to start?
I think we could jump right to the end, right where we just finished. We got to add like a ending or something.
Yeah, I agree. So something to kind of close out, because we had the flowers and then our body's just kind of hanging out there.
What do you think, Allison? That was your movement. What do you think we should do for an ending?
For some reason, I feel like, okay, so our hands are a little all over the place, and I almost feel like not a bow, but almost like kind of rounding our shoulders and just kind of tilting forward, almost like we fall asleep or something.
A sleeping flower. Like a wilted flower. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we can't kind of like move forward and then kind of come comfortably back up, just really like content and solid for an ending. What do you think?
Maybe a sleeping flower, because the sun went away and then the sun can happen again. Or not.
It's the end of the story. We gotta end. We can end like going to sleep, or we could like, flowers have the big blossoms. We could like close.
Bring it all in.
Tropical flowers that like close at night and then like open up in the sun. So yeah, we can like close. Maybe how to stop.
I love that. All right, so let's try it. We sprinkle and have our lots and lots of flowers, and then we just bring it all in and close ourselves out. That's nice. It's actually kind of comforting for me. I don't know. Okay. All right. So we have a nice little ending. So I think from there, then to close it off, I feel like it might be nice to add more, something that like really clarifies the beginning, like a nice strong opening. Because I know we have that beautiful sun. But I wonder if there's something that can just make it a little bit more clear that, okay, we're beginning something,
Sarah had this nice idea for the sunshine, so I'm gonna like go away for a second. Make sure you can't see me. And then I'm going to rise like the sun with all my sunshine and all my sun rays. Yeah. And let's be very shiny, very radiant, very dramatic. Think of the sun, it's huge. Yeah, so let's really embody that in the sun. And I want it to be hot because it's summer now, so it's really hot. All right, so not only are we radiant and shiny, but we're also like very, very hot. All right, so let's see that. How does that begin? Like, I'm gonna add a little music. And it's hot, hot, hot. So maybe start to fan yourself a little bit. Woo. Steaming hot sun.
I love that. And then the hot sun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh no, I think I was going right with you, Allison, because if it's so hot, then what do you think the characteristic of this butterfly is? Do you think that its wings, instead of the luxurious wings, I think it might be a little bit fluttering faster because it's so hot that its wings are a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
A little dehydrated.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
If it is so hot, that bird's working hard. And we even talked about blowing leaves and stuff, so clearly there's some wind action. So yeah, that bird's or the butterfly's working a little harder than we thought.
And Simon, I don't know, even the quality Simon's doing too, it starts off a little quicker, but then it gets a little tired.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it lands by the stream.
Yes.
I love to make sound effects as well. So maybe like you're like, flying. Tired, hot, butterfly. Our butterfly has a deep voice.
Yes.
Yeah, just have fun with it.
Yes, and I love to. So that then kind of takes us into the blue stream running through the middle. So first we kind of had this nice little gliding factor through like the middle of our chest. But if we're thinking like lots of sunshine, hot day, hardworking butterfly, I envision. I would imagine that the stream would be pretty like prominent, right? Because if you see in the picture, it kind of takes up a good chunk of the picture, and it's pretty big. So I would like to kind of take this kind of smaller movement that we have and see if we can add more components of our body. So if you feel comfortable standing with like your feet wide, or if you just want to stay seated, and then maybe like use more of our upper body. So as we're kind of have this motion with our hand, if we can just add more of a wave with our upper body. So we have like our shoulders. Yeah, Sarah. We have our
Yeah.
shoulders kind of taking us on this massive stream.
Yeah. And what would some words be? If it's this hot day, what would some more like adjectives for the stream be?
Um,
How does the water feel? Do you think the water's like boiling, or is the water like cool, or what do
I
y'all
think
think?
it's like cool, almost
Cool.
refreshing.
Yeah, refreshing stream. A cool, refreshing stream.
Yeah, yeah. A big, cool, refreshing stream. And kind of like wavy. Yeah, yeah. This stream's doing some work.
Yeah, maybe your spine starts to feel like a stream too. There's a
Yeah.
whole stream in your spine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool and feels good to me.
Yeah.
Should we review the changes we have now? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, Sarah. Okay. Sunshine. Go ahead, Simon.
Oh, it's hot. Oh, hot.
Woo. That butterfly is doing some work.
Oh, ugh. Oh, the butterfly makes it to the cool, refreshing stream.
Wavy stream.
Wavy.
Refreshing stream.
Nice. Oh, all those words. Rejuvenating.
Yes, rejuvenating. And then from here we go into the bird under the tree.
Yeah. We kind of bypassed the tree in the first one. So I kind of imagine like it was a blackbird, and when I hear the word blackbird, it makes me think of the Beatles. I know some people might not know that song, Blackbird Singing in the Dead of Night. Yeah, Beatles fans. So it makes me feel like a cool bird. So I'm imagining like a cool bird hanging out under the tree. Yeah, imagine like a bird's like kicking out, got his feet up, kind of like bobbing his head.
Oh, and that kind of works with that's a nice adaptation of this. It's more, so less of like a peck and more of like a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like got a little bird peck, but more like rhythmic, kind of cool. It's like think of like what's another word for cool? Like groovy, a nice groovy.
Groovy's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay, groovy under a tree. Oh, so you have that lean, Simon. So are you like under that tree?
Yeah, I'm thinking like leaning under the tree, like just hanging out, maybe looking at all the exhausted butterflies work, like hang out in the shade.
Oh, that's
Cool.
Can I ask a question though? What do you think the transition from the stream, how can we transition into our groovy bird? Should we kind of take that undulation of the spine and simmer it down into more of that like chill groovy bird?
How about, yeah, I agree, but let's can we like allow this like wave maybe to go into our wings? Let's flap a few times and then chill out under the maybe we see the bird fly over the stream and then land in its cool shady area.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
I love that. And transitions are important in writing, dance, and anything we do. Transitions are key. So that was good.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. So bird under a tree, and then we go into the the blowing leaves. So we're kind of under this tree. We have our blowing different leaves. So before we kind of had those three poses.
I kind of like that. Do y'all think that needs? I feel like that one's very detailed.
Yeah.
Very different. So I think we think that's good, or are we gonna add some stuff?
Well, we can always switch the order of them too. Do we like the direction, or do we want to change the order of the blowing leaves on our Zoom screens? What do you think? The first one we went to a high level, then we went to a sideways low and sideways low. Do you want to?
Ooh, what if we went to like low first?
Up? Down?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the low. I like because we're kind of up here, and then I like that kind of transition, that drop of like level where we're going to one of the leaves, maybe like the sharper leaves towards the bottom, and then we go up to those high. Yeah. And then
little like triangle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then we're low, and then we have that, and then we come to our end, our last one, which is the flowers. We take that deep breath to kind of bring us back up to center. And as we exhale, lots and lots and lots and lots of flowers.
Yeah.
And then we bring it all in and over to the conclusion.
Nice. I think we could afford to give some more descriptions to those flowers, because those flowers look really cool. It seems like Miss Lisa put in some thought into those flowers. So to me, of course, they were very pretty.
Super
but
pretty.
they're also proud, very proud flowers. Yeah, their petals were open nice and wide, very proudly. So pretty and proud flowers. Those are the words I want to add.
Pretty and proud. I love that, Simon. Pretty and proud. Okay, so how would we show that? Like, how would we, I guess, like more pop to the flowers? Yeah. Ooh, add those shoulders. Bah, 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 really pop those flowers.
Yeah. Maybe we can also use our feet, because there's a lot of flowers, remember? Yeah, I like that, Sarah. Some beautiful. What do you guys think?
And that brings it to a nice shift when we're like, all this action in the woods, and then we're kind of bring it all in as, say, the sun goes down, or whatever we're kind of thinking for the conclusion.
Oh yeah, that's sun goes down. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Excellent revision. That was great. All right. Now that we just revised this piece that we have created so far, it's time to get into the next step of the writing process, which is editing. So this is where we're putting it down on paper. We're really starting to feel connected to our story. We're getting it ready for the presentation, or in the dancer world, editing is kind of like the dress rehearsal or the rehearsal for our movement sequences, getting it ready for the show or the final showing, and we're putting everything into our bodies. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and take our revisions, and let's run through it. Maybe what we have so far, and then we'll make any final edits to make it that much more crisp and on point. Yeah. Okay. All right. So should we start with the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
See ya.
Ready.
You can disappear. I'm gonna just hide for now, just as we're.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh, I am the hot sun. Oh.
Whew.
This is where that butterfly
Hot.
real hot.
The butterfly.
He's real trying. Oh, you get.
The butterfly gets tired, working hard, and then it takes us into that nice, refreshing, cool, wavy stream. And then remember, we revisit that butterfly, which then...
Bird. It's the
The
bird.
bird.
Oh, the bird. Yes, sorry, Simon. The bird.
Yeah.
Flying over the stream, and he finds a
Good.
cool place to stay. Groovy bird. Yeah. Groovy bird.
Excellent. And then that takes us into the blowing different leaves, which we go down that triangle, different shapes, which then takes us into a nice deep breath. And the really, what would you say, proud?
Pretty and proud.
Pretty and proud flowers. And then we go into the closing with the sunset. Nice. Ooh, beautiful.
Good, yeah.
Simon and Sarah.
Yeah. That's a nice run through.
Yeah.
So that's what we call that as dancers. We call that a run through. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like whenever you first create your revisions, it's hard to kind of remember. So it seems like a little fumbly. And so that's why we're just going to have the strength and repetition, and we're just going to keep practicing. And what do you guys say? Maybe should we like add some more sound effects? Simon was giving us a lot, and maybe we'll kind of keep that going as we rehearse too.
Yes, I agree. And I think the more that we can add those like final touches, we can really own our movements. So yeah, I think absolutely. So Simon, do you want to start?
Cool. So yeah, if we say that last time was at like our 50% of potential, let's make this one more close to 100%, or 100% or above. All right. So now we call this full out. All right. So let's try this. All the revisions, all the edits. Now we're gonna do a second draft with our edits full out. All right.
Got it.
All right. Here we go. And feel free at home to add sound effects. All right. Whenever you're ready. You understand. 3, 2, 1. The hot, hot side. Oh, outside, I'm the sun and I'm big. Sunshine on the butterfly.
Ooh, getting tired. Tired, hard-working butterfly in that sunshine. The cool, refreshing stream. Really breathe that body out, cool and refreshing. Let it go.
We got a cool bird flying over the stream. Hey, I'm a cool bird. Where's that tree I was looking for? There it is. I'm gonna land in the shade because I'm a cool black bird.
Yeah. And then into those leaves. So those really different, blowing, distinct leaves. And then that purposeful breath. Proud, pretty flowers. Own it. Do, 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 do. And then as the sun sets, another purposeful breath, and let it out with a nice sigh. Woo! I felt that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I felt that one. That's awesome.
Can we pull up the picture one more time before we go? Just so we can see what we did, how we transformed this picture into our own dance.
And our own story. We really put our own story to these images and ideas.
And you know what, Simon and Allison, I know that in the revision and editing process, it's so good to have an outside eye, and it was really helpful to have all three of us kind of incorporate different ideas and bounce different things off. And then I'm super excited to see, if anybody else has additional comments or anything of that sort too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the more feedback, the better, especially for when it comes to writing a story or when it comes to putting on a piece. The more people that you can have sharing ideas and sharing thoughts will really only strengthen the piece, no matter how hard sometimes the feedback is to hear. But yes, if you were watching mine, Sarah, and Simon's piece, and if you have any thoughts in regards to different edits that we can add, different sounds, anything else that we can really incorporate to strengthen the piece, in your opinion, from your eye, please send us comments, send us emails, respond to this in any way. That is greatly appreciated. Absolutely. And if you would like feedback from us too, we would be happy to look at anything that you have done, because of course, once you have kind of your edited version, film it, keep that so that we can use it for workshop 11 to just add that final touch to just make it off the chain.
Plan. Just remember, there's no right or wrong. So whatever comments or edits or revisions you want to give us. We are not perfect. We're just here having fun. So whatever you have to say, we'll take it all with love. Yeah. Feel free to share. Also, feel free to share with you what you come up with. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Excellent job, everyone. We will see you next time for workshop 11. Crazy. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.